I'm going to be playing Warhammer Rogue Trader. I have beaten the game twice before already. However, I have not played the Lex Imperialis DLC yet. So that is what this is going to be. This is going to be a little series where I upload my playthrough of the Lex Imperialis DLC, and of course the entire game. For those of you who have already played who have already played Rogue Trader, I'm going to be editing out the repeat warp encounters, you know the ones. But I will have the first three in here, you know, the mandated ones. And I will be doing the dogmatic route this time, because that is the only one, that's the route I haven't done yet, and I feel like that would fit for the Lex Imperialis, at least from what I know about it. Or, also got Void Shadows as well, so we're gonna get at that as well. I'm gonna play on normal, because I'm not really sure how the DLC is gonna play out. Speed through this part real quick. Not really big on the character customization in the game.
Look upon the Emperor's faithful and tremble.
I'm going to be going with a Psyker playthrough this time. I have never really interacted with Psykers that much in this game. I always preferred just melee characters in general. So I feel like this is going to be just a nice little changed pace for my other playthroughs. I'm thinking that so far I might do the Voidborn, just because that seems more useful, I think. It would never stop shooting effect Psyker weapons. That's actually an even idea. Nah, I think I'm gonna go with Voidborn. It seems more useful. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, if there's anything you guys would want to see more of, like throughout the game, just like leave a comment, and I will be glad to include it. The editing is going to be a little weird, because the editing software I use, it only allows me to download videos that are 30 minutes or shorter. So I'm probably gonna have to split up Act 1 into 2 videos, maybe a third, depending on how long it takes me. But yeah, just be warned about that. The editing might get weird. I'll put a disclaimer. Well, not a disclaimer. I'll put everything in a playlist as well, so it'll be easier to find and everything. And I will put a link to the second video in the description as well. But yeah, I'm just telling you in case you're wondering why it ends suddenly. It's just because of that. Just because of the editing software being weird. If there's anyone who is new to Rogue Trader watching this game, and watching my gameplay, I would genuinely recommend this game to you. not really good at explaining stuff. Hopefully you find my gameplay enjoyable. Game is honestly really fun. It's a little bit like difficult to understand at first, but if you just ease into the systems, you can. It's a lot of fun when you actually figure everything out. I just recommend going on an easier difficulty at first because like there's a lot of math and numbers and stuff. So I recommend you just go to an easier difficulty where building like a min-maxed character is not as important. That way you can enjoy the game and ease into the systems more. Wow, okay, this is a lot. These are actually some really good abilities for Psyker. I've never. Huh. Maybe I should have been using Psykers more. I'm gonna go with Biomancer this time. Good. I'm gonna go with a Keeper's. Yeah, it's fine. I will also be going for the Overseer archetype. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go with Officer and go for more support thing. Get more, you have a few points in willpower because that stuff scales off that. Fellowship. Okay, willpower and fellowship. That works for this, I guess. I'm not gonna need. I don't think I'll need toughness for this. Oh, no, I still have points. I'll throw in agility for early game. I think that would. Yeah, it looks nice. I don't need the weapon skills. Strength would be usefulness. Maybe toughness, but I feel like this is good. And bonus. Yeah, I think that's good. I'm gonna go with the sword class right off the bat. And I'm gonna go with the base name because I just like it. And if any players have any suggestions for like a build of any equipment, I would actually like to see those. I can make passable characters, but nothing impressive for the most part.
An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of... That is the purpose of all temples to the God Emperor, to inspire awe and reverence. For it is the duty of his servants to persevere in their tireless service until they are presented with a chance to give their very life for the master of humanity. Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad Voigtveer, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencias, at your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before. I am aware of that fact. It would have been unacceptable negligence to have overlooked such a detail when compiling your profile. Fate bestowed upon you powers of witchcraft, and a duty to use them for the good of the Imperium. Yours is truly an unenviable lot. I will be frank with you. You may forget your past titles, no matter who gave them to you, or what their origins are. From the moment you and the other candidate were brought aboard this void ship, your fate changed. You now serve Lord Captain Theodora von Valencias, and carry the burden of an heir of this house. Henceforth, you share your dynastic name with Her Ladyship. Bear it with honor. Such are the traditions of the Imperium. Lord Captain is the title that was established in the annals of the Lex Imperialis at the time when the first rogue traders entered the God Emperor's service, and therefore, it is sacrosanct.
I'm like 90% certain that line wasn't there about the Lex Imperialis before my playthrough the other times. Is the DLC already changing stuff up this early? Well, nice, I guess. More dialogue.
so that you may fulfill your blood duty. Whatever obligations you had before, they are henceforth null and void. By order of the Lord Captain, you have been requisitioned to serve the rogue trader, indeed blessed by the God Emperor. Your former position may have been different from conventional service as part of one of the institutions of the Imperium, but from now on, a different fate awaits you. One chosen for you by the Lord Captain. I advise you to come to terms with this reality as quickly as possible. To put it plainly, I am the head of the network of spies and informers who serve the interests of House von Valencius. I uncover weak links both among Lady Theodora's retinue and in the ranks of her rivals. I eliminate our vulnerabilities and exploit those of others. I would rather not discuss the Lord Captain behind her back, especially not on board her ship. No one knows better than I that whispers are wont to attract particularly close attention. Suffice it to say that her ladyship is the bearer of the sacred warrant of trade and a woman of immense power and entitlement. However privileged your position may be, I ask that you do not incur her anger by being disrespectful or obtuse. There is, and you will meet him soon enough. But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. The Lord Captain and Master Edelthrad von Valencius are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
Bound by the blood of martyrs.
Oh, and anyone who is new to 40k who might be watching this, you don't need a good understanding of the game to, 40k to understand this game. Tells you enough stuff through dialogue, but it couldn't hurt. I'd recommend be watching a lore video or two first before you come back here. But if you don't want to, you can just leave like a question about what something is in the comments, and I'll do my best to explain it.
I am but a faithful herald of the righteous wrath. Actions will speak louder than words. Die! I won't suffer this.
What's that, buddy? They're just telling me like you've been hit. Alright. Yeah.
Rejoice in service.
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan. I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
That is simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
Oh, almost forgot to mention what I'm going to do to this, since my editing software is weird. I'm going to get to this I'm going to get to the end of this section, and then upload this upload this as the video. Not this section, not meaning this conversation, but like the end of this part of gameplay, this section of the game. I'll end the video there, upload it, and then I'll upload the rest of it tomorrow. Although, if you guys are fine with getting, like, maybe multiple notifications throughout the day, I could also do that. I genuinely want to hear your thoughts about that, because on one hand, I like to get as much of my footage out as possible, but I don't want to blow up phone. If any of you subscribe, I don't want to blow up your phones with notifications. So just leave it in the comments, please, your opinions on that. There.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad? Our second candidate has joined us. Approach and give me your answer. Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crews sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. Ah, yes. Personal intervention. The surest way to leave yourself vulnerable. What say you, Edelthrad? Your brother in sorcery is not afraid to face danger. Unlike you.
A Psyker's soul is a yawning gate for the ruinous powers. One could hardly trust a servant of the Imperium who is so eager to usher in corruption. Even among his flock, not all are of a piece. I suggest you familiarize yourself with that fact before you are sorely
Edelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
So, why are you here? You have ceded the opening that was offered to you in a woeful display of meekness. Admittedly, this tendency is equally strong in all who toil in the Emperor's service. Immutable hierarchy, absolute obedience, lickspittlery, compulsion to please. I value none of these things. From the moment my envoys came for you, the terms of your existence changed. My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all. It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon. Resources, people, riches, and mysteries is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are one of those with von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes. Naturally, some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate. Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake. His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voitvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least. Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Edelthrad as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis Expanse. It says in your profile that you bear the brand of sorcery. Albeit sanctioned sorcery that is permitted in the service of the Imperium. I am accustomed to the presence of psychos at my side. More than that, I value their unique abilities highly. Perhaps that is why I am so intrigued by Edelthrad's candidacy. A rogue trader psycho could achieve great things indeed. However, psychos are fragile creatures. And as such, I would rather have a replacement standing ready in the event that something happens to Edelthrad. Moreover, Your remarkable mental abilities were noted in your profile. If you can find a way to exhibit them in the service of the von Valancius dynasty, well, so much the better. I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge. Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is ancient. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live. The Rykad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers, and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor. I set the course for Rykad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time. Sometimes I forget that people without direct access to a ship's bridge may not know the first thing about how a void ship travels between the stars. Vessels such as this one are capable of leaving real space and traversing into the warp, an otherworldly dimension of cruel and unthinkable forces. By entering it under the protection of the Gellerfield, we shorten the route to our destination, crossing distances that would require hundreds of years in a matter of weeks instead, sometimes in days or even hours. That is how humanity spread across the galaxy. That is how we were able to build the Imperium, which spans millions of stars. Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Edelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aid. In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
I will cast you into eternal darkness.
You make a suitable sacrifice.
Follow my lead. I took care of this one.
Weapon at the ready. For the glory of the Imperium!
Guides me. Death is weak.
I've suffered worse.
This is beyond me.
Oh, no, use it here. I guess that makes sense.
Rejoice
Definitely some
in
possibilities
service.
here.
And so it shall be. Let this be the warning to all who oppose us.
Death to non-believers.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Out of my way.
Oh, and if there's anyone new here who has never played Rogue Trader before, if you're wondering why everything just randomly speeds up, it's me. The game has a button that lets you speed up animations for every time you click it. I just use that for like larger
I've seen worse
fights.
battles than this in my time.
Break their morale. Another step towards our ultimate victory.
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
From what we have seen, I can speculate that we are dealing with some variety of madness induced by warp travel. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto other decks.
The casters are not working, or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us, or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communications. I will need a direct channel to the engine seer prime before I can get a sense of what we are up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons at the ready. I am... possibly, quite likely. We will investigate at a later time. Right now, we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation.
Trust me, this is hardly surprising for a crew of thousands. The lower decks are a fertile environment for discontent and heresy, no matter how one tries to incinerate any seed before it can take root. All it takes is a hint of warp influence to cloud the minds of normally obedient cattle.
Sporadic riots on the lower decks never reach these compartments. No, the tumults of the rabble are always contained within their own territory. This is too well organized. It is spreading too rapidly. Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
Know your duty.
I can't hear that name without thinking of that fucking lemur. But, yeah. You probably know what I'm talking about. Why am I trying to explain what more than talking about?
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Always on time, eh, Coonrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Mort, pull yourself together.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Vox Master is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Geller field failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the
First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the Navigator's Sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once. Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-Militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrad's psyker powers.
Then it's settled. Find Edelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand? Then move out! More...
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear. Oh, certainly. Lady Theodora would be devastated if she were to lose one of her precious heirs. But that is no longer relevant.
Yeah.
Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Ah, you are back with us, I see. Delightful. How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself.
Wait a minute. I just realized that she said... Yeah, Theodora said that Unra here is also related to her, distantly, just like my character. I just realized that why does he need my blood? Because it's just
We are in the
that makes
anteroom of
sense.
the Warrant Chamber. This void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates to the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You offer your blood to the Sentinel. On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for? Wretched. What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me.
Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind.
I think he might be a heretic. Just
Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench von Valancius watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
They're new to this again. If you already couldn't figure it out, the blue stuff, like the blue words, are stuff that is like direct consequences of stuff you've done. Like if you saved someone on one planet and they come back on another, there'll probably be some like blue text there mentioning how you saved them or something.
High levels of caustic humus. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance? Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
Yep. You know, one thing I like about this game, how all the cutscenes are done in engine. I like that. There's no disconnect between the actual gameplay and look of the game and cutscenes.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Escort the child of the house to safety. Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Voxmaster, restore communication with the Navigator Sanctum. I'm trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection. Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations. Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel, designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the Rogue Trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by. Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
The Divine watches over us.
Run Run, fools, or fall!
I'm pretty sure this cutscene is also new. I don't remember that.
Master! Whatever are you doing in the Warren Chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me! What is the meaning of this? What? Oh, holy God, Emperor! I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Master, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Saint's blood. And it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, Master. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit. And for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
Do I have the Medicaid skill? Yeah, I don't know why I would actually double that.
Look no further. This wound will make a fine scar. That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the wall and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive. Lady Theodoras. Which one? The last one I received was about the navigator's sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well, and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course. Come.
To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor! Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who have dared!
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward!
Surrender to the knights, or you will die screaming!
Don't you dare to cross us!
I will not be deterred. Rejoice in service. And so let this be the warning to all who oppose us.
Ruin.
I will do like you want fewer targets. At your back.
Chaos guides
Just a minor setback.
death to the weak!
Actions will speak louder than words. Your corrupt way has failed you.
My place is at the fort.
Death to non-believers!
Okay, it has almost been an hour, apparently. That's surprising. So, what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to end it here. After I finish leveling up these two, I'm gonna end it here, and then I'll start recording the second part. Again, please leave a comment if you want it delayed by like a day or something, or just want like them out as soon as I can make them. I'll see if I can edit this down. There's not a good shot I can. If it's still around 50 minutes, then I couldn't. I'm planning on making this like a Let's Play thing. Maybe the only thing I'm planning on cutting out through the game is the warp encounters, for the most part. Minus just some travel time. I'm not going to cut out anything during this part of the game, since it's like a lot lore heavy and stuff, so I want like any new people who are new to this to like understand the game and what's happening. So I'm gonna end it here. It would leave any comments you want, any suggestions for stuff I should do, builds, just genuinely. Alright, ending it here. See you later.